Here's the problem with guitar culture. It's steeped in tradition and wrapped in nostalgia. And any type of innovation has to poke through that nostalgia and break through all that tradition to actually be embraced by the guitar culture community. And it's true, there's a lot of really cool, innovative things happening, and guitar culture seems to embrace those things, but it also holds on to things. Now, when I'm designing and building guitars, I'm always taking a look at core components and trying to figure out what the origin was of those core components and why we still hang on to them and use them. And one of those core components is the guitar jack and the 1/4-inch cable. Even though that we've had devices and hi-fi audios with 1/8-inch jacks and 1/8-inch cables, we've still hung on to 1/4-inch jacks and cables. Now, there could be a lot of argument for why. It could be the insulation, right? We want to make sure that we're insulated from outside noises. But a large percentage of working musicians and live musicians use wireless modules. So that 1/4-inch jack and 1/4-inch cable serve one purpose, and that's to connect to a wireless module, to allow them to kind of walk on a stage without a cable. Huge number of musicians use these wireless devices. So you start to think, well, then what's the point of that guitar jack and guitar cable if it's only connecting to a wireless module? Why don't we just kind of cut that out, cut the middleman out? And that's really what I did. And that's the whole point of this experiment. Experiment was really exploring two things. One, can I design something elegant so that we can have a wireless pickup? And two, I was exploring Temu, which is a new overseas e-commerce site where things are relatively inexpensive and it offers free shipping. So I sourced off the shelf, which I like to do, a wireless module very inexpensively and a pickup inexpensively to, again, kind of explore these ideas. So it doesn't cost me much when I have a crazy idea and I want to pursue it. So the cool thing is, just accidentally and ideally, the wireless module sits and fits in between the legs of the humbucker, both in width and length and height. So if you were to install this, it actually doesn't interfere in any way whatsoever of installing this pickup. It sits under it, and there's no cables. So I know what you're asking. You're asking, well, how do you charge it? How do you add a volume knob to it? And the good thing about these crazy ideas that I have that I'm able to pursue is that I don't have to worry about those things. I don't have the solution for those other peripheral things like how do you charge it or how do you add a volume knob. My job is to have a crazy idea, implement it, deploy it, and make it elegant. That's my whole job here, right? That's why you come over to my channel and you watch all this stuff. Now, as far as adding a volume knob and charging it, those two things are possible, but they require cables and wires. And the point of this entire video and proof of concept is a wireless pickup. So as soon as you start adding wires and cables to it, it kind of defeats the whole concept. That's not to say that you couldn't do it. You could easily route a cable to charge this and route another couple of wires for a volume knob. Super easy. In fact, I have some sketches and diagrams of schematics of adding all those things. I just didn't want to add them because this looks way cooler. So I literally could just like strum a guitar right now, put this over the strings, and it would make a sound. All right, so now we gotta hear it. Let's test it, right? We built it. Let's actually put it in a guitar to see how it works. So I think what we need is a donor guitar. So it's time to bust out the mule. You don't have a mule? You know, like a guitar that you can kick around and experiment with? I have one. Let's go get it. Let's install this pickup. Come on. I know, crazy idea, wireless pickup. Not practical at all, and it wasn't meant to be. It was meant to be inspiring, how I could just easily source off-the-shelf products, easily available, and just squish them together to kind of make something cool. You know, I often think about that moment in time when Apple removed the 1/8-inch jack for earbuds from phones and laptops. That was done for a reason, and it wasn't to make consumers angry. A lot of times consumers don't know what they want, and you have to kind of show them. Removing that old tech allowed them to make the battery bigger. It allowed them to make the devices smaller and thinner. And you couldn't have done that without removing that ancient technology. The problem with guitars is this is all really old tech. But this isn't about making a better guitar. It's not about making a better pickup. It's just about rethinking how guitars are made. Just think about it this way. With something like this, I wouldn't have to route for a jack, and I wouldn't have to route for wire channels. So already the processes are changing. It opens up all these new pathways, and all these new designs can start to basically sprout up just because we changed something very small. I'm just trying to think of new ideas. And that's all this video was. Not a practical design, but hopefully inspiring. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.